Testing on. Testing is on. Check the echo. Yeah, it's good. It's good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Anything But ASIC. Oh, fizz. And back to you with not such fresh news. Yeah, things are going crazy. Things are crazy here on the market. Market cap, CoinGecko. Looking at Bitcoin, there were some ups, there were some downs. You look like it was recovering. Looked like that was a bull trap, and we're down. Lots of interesting, juicy news. And I am late again. I am late by like a week now on the news I was going to report on, but it still holds value. Let's see. Everything's about Pepe Coin now. Everything's about Pepe Coin. You know, Pepe Coin has also fell through the floor. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Well, you can't find it. You know why? Because the devs ran. The devs took some profits. Whatever. You know, this is what happens. Let's see. Pepe. Pepe, where'd you go? Oh, wow. They're really gone. They really left. Let's see if I can find it here. Pepe. Oh, no, it was still there. I am blind, I guess. There's Pepe Coin. Pepe Coin is down a little bit. They were making this big fuss about it, but the real market here, the real thing to look at is Litecoin. Litecoin is doing terrible for something that's supposed to have a halvening coming up. It's supposed to get rarer. It is doing terrible. No, that's not really the case. The case is Ethereum and Bitcoin as usual. Look at the market manipulation. Look at it. It's up, it's down, everything's down all at the same time. It's how this market goes. That's why everybody turns to stable coins, because you just can't trust them not to manipulate Bitcoin in a time of crisis, or just a time where you just want to use it as an actual cryptocurrency. Oh, really doing this? Hold on. Pause. Okay, back on. The dogs are protecting the door. They're doing their job. But we're talking about this market. This market's going down. And let's just get into the articles. Kraken fights back after the IRS demands user information. Now, I think the IRS demanded the user information from, Monad VPN. Or, it wasn't the IRS. It's some government agency. And they got nothing. Why? Because they use Monero. And who else uses Monero? Who else supports Monero? Kraken. Coincidence? I think not. But Kraken, it's got the IRS all over it. Reading the article. Cryptocurrency exchange Kraken challenges the Internal Revenue Service. Request for user data, claiming that the demands represent a unwarranted intrusion and asking a federal court to intervene. Recently, the cryptocurrency exchange Kraken is contesting the IRS request for information about its users, claiming the agency demands represent an unwarranted search for hidden treasures. Kraken is hinting that the agency is just looking to squeeze more money from the exchange than what is needed. Kraken has now asked a federal court in San Francisco to instruct the IRS to halt its investigation, which the agency says is aimed at users potentially under-reporting their tax obligations. In February, the IRS submitted a petition to enforce a summons seeking data on Kraken accounts that conducted at least $20,000 worth of cryptocurrency transactions in any single year between 2016 and 2020. Kraken, however, maintains that the IRS requests surpassed the constraints set by the U.S. District Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley in a comparable dispute with Coinbase around 6 years prior. In a court document, Kraken contends that the IRS has expanded its requests and built them on a weaker foundation rather than following the Coinbase case guidelines. In the Coinbase situation, the agency reduced its initial demands, but the company continued to oppose them. Judge Corley ultimately determined that the summons affected more than 14,000 users was not overly invasive, giving the IRS legitimate concern in investigating taxpayers who may be concealing their Bitcoin profits. According to Kraken legal representatives, the IRS is seeking more information and targeting a wider range of users in the Kraken case. Kraken's headquarters in San Francisco, I don't know why you're there, ranks among the top crypto exchanges, boasting a daily global trading volume of around 650 million as per CoinMarketCap data. The largest withdrawer of Ethereum since the Shanghai upgrade has been Kraken, 433,000 ETH, which had to be shut down. Shut down its staking service due to settlement with the U.S. SEC. In February, Kraken settled allegations by the Securities and Exchange Commission that the firm's staking service was an unlawful sale of securities, agreeing to pay $30 million. And a hearing has been scheduled for next month by George Corley to assess the arguments presented in the Kraken lawsuit. Now, yes, the IRS is trying to squeeze on them. It's a double compounding effect. Well, one, Kraken doesn't have enough money to really fight this off. They already paid out $30 million. So, yeah, if Kraken folds because it just doesn't have any money to protect its users from the prying eyes of the government, which will continue to raise its bar on what it finds legal and what it wants to get once this is let through, it's just a compound effect to really push Kraken out off the map, or push Kraken to another place where the long arm of the U.S. law can't reach. Maybe Russia. We're gonna have to learn Russian, buddies. We're gonna use Kraken again. Oh, congrats. I'm gonna start that. I'm not gonna start that. No. But that's my take on it. What do you guys think? I'm sure this guy's already got a video up about it. This came out April 26th. Yeah, I'm real late on this, but I thought it was an important issue to talk about, because anything coming with the regulators coming to crack down on the freedom to transplant a digital asset, or transport or transact in a digital asset. That technically doesn't exist, but exists. But they just say it doesn't exist, but it will exist. But it kind of exists, but it doesn't. You can buy a barrel of oil with it in Russia, but you can't really do too much with it. Who knows? We just want the freedom to be able to use it, and what it really comes down to is the trading it into the USD has opened the door for these agencies to come in and stop things from happening. But if the currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, weren't tied to the fiat dollar, I don't think anything would happen in the space. If you couldn't buy anything with it. But tomato, maybe today the fiat dollar is worth more than Bitcoin. Maybe tomorrow we'll denominate fiat dollars in Bitcoin. Maybe, doubt it, could be, who knows. Moving on to the next article. Has proof of stake made Ethereum more centralized? Knowing that 433,000 Ethereum, not even a drop in the bucket for how much Ethereum's out there, is just on Kraken, move through Kraken, I would say, yeah, it's centralized. Sit spoobly. In brief, investigating Ethereum's transition to proof of stake and implications of decentralization, examining the benefits of and challenges of POS, including environmental impact, inclusivity, and security, exploring Ethereum's key upgrades and what they mean for the centralization debate. Now, what kept Ethereum decentralized was mining, maybe. there was a lot of whales in Ethereum. Charles Hopkins being one of them, even though he went off to create Cardano, even though he was keeping Ethereum Classic alive, supposedly. Yeah, a lot of Ethereum. And a lot of the early adopters, I've met a few, had a lot of Ethereum. Was it Antonopoulos has a lot of Ethereum. Of course, Vitalik Buterin has a lot of Ethereum. These people are mega millionaires, multimillionaires, possibly billionaires, because of all the Ethereum they potentially have. Who would know? I read an article. As Ethereum continues on its journey towards a more sustainable and decentralized future, it faces a conundrum. Has the shift to proof of stake made the network more centralized? I'm gonna answer this pretty quickly. Yes. Look at EOS. I wouldn't say List. List is still, I guess, decentralized. I don't know. Everybody really uses List, even though it was the first proof of stake system that opposed Ethereum. But I'm gonna answer yes. Yes, it is more centralized. Here we delve into the intricacies. I think I said that right. Intricacies. There you go. Of the centralization debate, examining the various benefits and challenges of proof of stake, and exploring the potential impact of Ethereum's own coin upgrades on its commitment to decentralization. A green revolution, POS, and environmental impact. Ethereum's transformation to proof of stakes purports to pave the way for a sustainable future. Unlike the energy-intensive proof of work mechanism, proof of stake dramatically reduces Ethereum's carbon footprint. Bitcoin, for instance, has faced backlash for its massive energy consumption. As Ethereum champions a more eco-friendly alternative, it joins the global fight against climate change and aims to set precedent for other blockchain networks. No, you're not. There's plenty of other networks that were proof of stake and smart contract platforms before you ever came along and did your proof of stake switch. Ethereum, don't start that stuff. Whoever's writing this article, don't start it. No. The rise of the little guy, proof of stake and inclusivity. In a proof of work system, miners with powerful hardware and abundant resources dominate the network. Small participants struggle to compete against the well-equipped giants. Proof of stake, however, enables users with lesser amounts of Ethereum to protect in the network. Hold on. Lesser amounts. Wait. Let's look at this. So you need 30 Ethereum to stake. How much is 30 Ethereum? If I got $55,530 just lay it around to throw into a Raspberry Pi and hopefully not get hacked to just stake on Ethereum, I don't think so. I don't think too many people have that. Just throwing that out there. Oh, that's for later. That's going to be a juicy one. The next article. Oh, not the next article, but the next video. The rise of the little guy, proof of stake and inclusive. Okay. With lesser amounts of Ethereum to partake in the network. Lies. By fostering a more inclusive environment, Ethereum promotes decentralization and network resilience. The shift to proof of stake resonates with the blockchain community's vision for a more egalitarian network where participants of various sizes can contribute. Validators secure the network in the proof of stake system by putting their stakes at risk. Misbehavior or failing to validate transactions may result in the loss of a stake. The penalty fosters a strong incentive for validators to act in the network's best interest. As a result, Ethereum security receives a boost. A secure network attracts more users and developers, driving growth and confidence in the ecosystem. Okay, so I agree that Bitcoin's whole mining setup has gotten out of hand, but it by no means represents everything that proof of work could be. I mean, we still have Monero. And yes, you have to have like one of the most expensive CPUs out there to actually make a profit. Pretty much an epic, AMD epic server CPU, but That's not how it has to be. It's not how it has to be. There could be other limits that Monero just hasn't implemented yet that can make things a little bit more equal. Like, was it? Let me think. IP scanning. Well, you can use VPN, but yeah, IP scanning. Anything coming from not IP scanning. Wallet scanning. Wallet scanning IP. See, any wallet coming from an IP address can only use one CPU at a time, or something like that. Like, really get like heavy into the scanning, and what wownero did, where you have to actually at least run a node in order to actually mine. That cut down on some things, but I'll get into it later. Validators secure the network in a proof of stake system by putting their stakes at risk. Okay, I read that. The dark side. Centralization concerns in proof of stake. Despite its appeal, proof of stake raises the issue of centralization. Validators with considerably less stake possesses broad influence over the network. These large stakeholders may dominate transaction validation, leading to a consolidation of power. The concentration files in the face of Ethereum flies in the face of Ethereum. It's a core principle of decentralization. One example of centralization is the potential for cartels or collusion among large stakeholders. Validators may band together to manipulate the network, leading to bad outcomes. Ethereum must confront these issues to preserve its decentralized nature. A high-stakes game, entry barriers. To participate in proof of stake validation, users must meet a minimum of ETH stake requirement. While these barriers help maintain the network security, it could deter small players from entering the fray. As large stakeholders gain prominence, centralization fears intensify. To ensure a truly decentralized network, Ethereum must balance stake requirements with broad participation. Risky business. The perils of staking. Staking in a proof of stake system introduces new risks. Validators may lose their stakes due to software bugs, security breaches, or user errors. While risks are inherent in any system, proof of stake amplifies the stakes. Validators must proceed with caution, aware of the lurking dangers. Furthermore, the introduction of slashing in Ethereum proof of stake system penalizes validators for not following protocol rules. Although slashing enhances security, it also increases the complexity and potential pitfalls for validators. Consequently, staking becomes a high-risk, high-reward endeavor. Ethereum's evolution, the merge, and the Shanghai upgrade. Ethereum's path for proof of stake involves a series of crucial upgrades, including the merge and the Shanghai upgrade. These developments compromise milestones in Ethereum's journey towards realizing the ideal of more efficient, secure, and decentralized network. The merge, integrating proof of work and proof of stake. The merge refers to the integration of Ethereum's current proof of work mainnet with the proof of stake beacon chain. This event marks Ethereum's complete transition to the proof of stake, effectively merging the two parallel systems into one. The merge is a critical step into Ethereum's evolution as it represents the realization of its long-awaited shift from energy-intensive proof of work to a more sustainable proof of stake. As Ethereum transitions to proof of stake, the merge could potentially influence the centralization debate. The new consensus mechanism brings with it various benefits and challenges that could either promote or undermine decentralization. However, observing how the merge unfolds and impacts the network distribution of power will be crucial in understanding the broader implications of proof of stake for Ethereum centralization. Shanghai upgrade, enhancing Ethereum's infrastructure. Initially planned for 2022, the Shanghai upgrade aimed to introduce various improvements and features such as account abstraction, statelessness, and other enhancements. However, Ethereum's core developers decided to prioritize the merge before the Shanghai upgrade. as the complete transition to proof of stake is deemed more pressing. Once the Shanghai upgrade is in full effect, it will play a role in refining Ethereum's infrastructure, addressing lingering issues, and further optimizing the network. These enhancements could also have implications for the centralization debate, as improved efficiency, security, and accessibility may encourage or greatly decentralize or greater decentralized or inadvertently lead to centralization tendencies. The role of a decentralized finance. The DeFi ecosystem, built primarily on Ethereum, has democratized is that word? Access to financial services. As Ethereum transitioned to proof of stake, DeFi could play a role in the centralization debate. Staking pools and decentralized autonomous organizations (DAOs) may enable smaller stakeholders to pool their resources and take part in the network. These innovations could counterbalance the influence of larger stakeholders and foster decentralization. Look ahead at Ethereum's decentralization dilemma. Ethereum's transition to proof of stake has sparked a continuous debate on centralization. The new consensus mechanisms offers notable advantages such as environmental sustainability, higher participation, and enhanced security. Yet it also raises centralization concerns as potential drawbacks emerge, like the dominance of large stakeholders and barriers to entry for smaller participants. As Ethereum navigates this new terrain, it must address these challenges to preserve its decentralized essence. The blockchain community will need to remain vigilant and work as one to strike a balance between the benefits of proof of stake and the centralization risk it poses. Moreover, Ethereum's developers and community must continue to explore innovative solutions, for instance, enhancing the role of DeFi and staking, refining slashing mechanisms, and fostering a more inclusive environment for all participants can help counter centralization. Balancing decentralization and progress. Ultimately, Ethereum's success in maintaining decentralization will depend on its ability to adapt and evolve. As the network embraces proof of stake, it enters a new chapter in its journey, rife with both opportunities and challenges. Ethereum's future hinges on its capacity to uphold its core values while adapting to the demands of an ever-changing technological landscape. Ethereum's shift to proof of stake offers undeniable benefits, but centralization debate continues as potential downsides surface. The Ethereum community must face these challenges head-on to ensure that its decentralized vision preserves amid new and emerging risk. The ongoing dialogue and collaboration with the community will play a critical role in shaping Ethereum's future and maintaining its commitment to decentralization. A bunch of word salad too. Hey, these guys have a bunch of freaking Ethereum before the upgrade, and now they're just taking over. There, I summarized for you, TLDR. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, really what it comes down to, nobody has the right answer of how proof of stake should really work. Like I said, even I would fumble with it. Like, what's really right? And what it really comes down to, whereas proof of work or proof of stake is really how much money can you throw at it. The only places that I actually seen, well, the only processes that I actually seen that work kind of better were, like I said, Monero or Adreno coin, where the more microcontrollers you get on the network, the less you make. It doesn't go up in hash just because you have more. Or but that's a centralized play where people will be closely monitoring your account and making sure you're not just throwing hash at as much hash as you can at the problem. But that comes down to, well, how do you decide whether or not somebody is doing it correctly? You know, not spoofing their IP address using VPNs and logging in with all kinds of crazy emails and whatnot. You know, who gets to make that decision? What it should really come down to is the whole process. The whole purpose of proof of stake was to, one, be quote unquote eco-friendly, because nobody really needs this whole consensus algorithm that started with Bitcoin to actually make the network work. But the question is, with proof of stake, is it any better than the centralized banks where, other than, just one central entity holding control over when the transactions go? It just becomes a random process of who makes the transactions, who puts the transactions through. And I don't know if that's necessarily better, but the whole process of proof of stake was to, as those transactions go through, you have a stake in it, and how large your stake is, higher the chances are of you actually processing a transaction and getting something back for processing that transaction. Basically, in the setup of the rich is richer. Now, combining the two between Coin and proof of stake, what do you get? You get a staking mechanism that, like I said, I don't know the answer. You get a staking mechanism that loses interest, loses grip every time you put more power to it, more power. Let's say you had 3 devices staking, and even if you did the VPN, you matched your IP, you did all of this stuff to make sure that it didn't seem like they were the same, each node would only get a certain amount. Well, then you could just run multiple hardware or virtual machines and just get more. That's correct. But as you put more to each machine, like I said, there should be some extra rules to it, like where it's coming from via IP address. The bigger stake having 30 Ethereum, so you can't make multiple nodes. I think that's why they did it. So you have a hard time making multiple nodes. But like I said, there's plenty of people that already had 30 Ethereum, 3,000 Ethereum, whatever. So the people that were here are already getting the benefit. Like I said, I don't have the answers to this, but let me know in the comments if you guys have figured out how anyone can make a decentralized, autonomous proof of work system work, where the rich basically don't get richer. Everything's equal no matter what. If you guys figure that out, you'll win the game. You'll win the game of life. Let me know in the comments if you won the game of life, and I'll see you guys later.